Today we will read the summary of the book Living in the Light. Part 1. The Principles of Living in the Light by Shakti Gawai contains 10 chapters. These chapters introduce the foundational ideas behind the process of personal growth and inner transformation. Part 1 of Living in the Light lays out the essential principles for living a life in tune with one's inner guidance. Shakti Gawai emphasizes that every individual has an inner source of wisdom, known as intuition, which can guide them towards a fulfilling life. The first chapter begins by explaining how people are generally conditioned to live based on external expectations rather than their inner truth. The following chapters build on this idea by explaining the importance of balancing feminine and masculine energies within oneself. Gawai argues that society often favors masculine energy, which represents logic and action, but it is equally important to nurture feminine energy, which is associated with intuition, receptivity, and flow. She stresses that everyone has the ability to connect with their higher self and use it to make better decisions. Part 1 also introduces the concept of co-creating with the universe, suggesting that as individuals align with their inner guidance, they can manifest their desires more easily. Another core principle discussed is the concept of living in the present moment. Gawai encourages readers to let go of fears and anxieties tied to the past or future and instead focus on the now, where real transformation happens. In summary, Part 1 focuses on helping readers understand their inner power, listen to their intuition, and balance the various energies that influence their lives. It sets the stage for deeper personal growth and spiritual awareness. Certainly, here's an expanded version of the summary for the first chapter, The Journey of Awakening, from Living in the Light by Shakti Gawai. Chapter 1. The Journey of Awakening. In the opening chapter of Living in the Light, Shakti Gawai explores the concept of awakening, which she describes as a journey of discovering our true essence and aligning our lives with that inner wisdom. She begins by explaining that, from a young age, we are conditioned by society, family, and the world around us to conform to certain norms and expectations. This conditioning often leads us to disconnect from our authentic selves, as we prioritize external approval and societal success over our inner truth. Gawai highlights that this disconnect can manifest as feelings of emptiness, dissatisfaction, or a sense that something is missing in life, even when we achieve outward success. According to her, this is because we have lost touch with the inner guidance that can lead us to a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. The journey of awakening, as Gawai describes it, is about reconnecting with this inner guidance, which she calls our inner light. This inner light is a source of wisdom, intuition, and inspiration that resides within each of us. It is always present, but many people are unaware of it or have forgotten how to access it. The goal of awakening is to become conscious of this inner light and to allow it to guide our actions, decisions, and life path. A key aspect of this chapter is the emphasis on self-awareness and mindfulness. Gawai encourages readers to take time to reflect on their lives, their choices, and the motivations behind their actions. She suggests that much of the suffering people experience comes from living out of alignment with their true selves and making choices based on fear, insecurity, or societal expectations rather than from a place of inner knowing. Gawai provides practical exercises to help readers begin this process of awakening. These exercises include meditation, where one quiets the mind to connect with inner guidance, journaling to reflect on thoughts and feelings, and visualization techniques to imagine living a life guided by intuition. She stresses that these practices help deepen the connection to one's inner self, allowing the individual to experience life more fully and authentically. One of the chapter's key messages is that awakening is not a destination but a continuous process. It requires ongoing attention, reflection, and a willingness to grow and change. Gawai reminds readers that the journey of awakening can sometimes be challenging, as it involves letting go of old patterns, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve us. However, the rewards of this journey are immense, living a life that is authentic, meaningful, and deeply connected to the universal flow of energy and wisdom. In conclusion, Chapter 1 of Living in the Light sets the foundation for the rest of the book by emphasizing the importance of spiritual awakening and inner guidance. Gawai encourages readers to embark on this journey with an open heart and mind, trusting that their inner light will lead them toward greater peace, joy, and fulfillment. Chapter 2. The Higher Power Within Us. In Chapter 2 of Living in the Light, Shakti Gawai explores the concept of the higher power that exists within each of us. She explains that this inner power, which she refers to as our higher self, is the guiding force that helps us navigate life. This chapter emphasizes that true wisdom and direction do not come from external sources, but from within. Our higher self is an infinite source of guidance, love, and strength. Understanding the higher power. Gawai begins by stating that everyone has access to a higher power. This power is not something external, like a religious deity, but is found within us. She refers to it as the higher self, which is our intuitive, wise, and loving core. According to Gawai, this higher self is always available to us, but many of us are disconnected from it due to societal conditioning, fear, and self-doubt. The author explains that people are often taught to rely on external authorities, parents, teachers, societal norms, for guidance. As a result, they lose touch with their internal guidance system, which leads to confusion, stress, and dissatisfaction in life. Gawai encourages readers to reconnect with their higher self, as this is the key to living a life of purpose, fulfillment, and peace. Listening to intuition. One of the central ideas of this chapter is learning to listen to intuition, which is the voice of the higher self. Gawai suggests that the higher self communicates with us through feelings, gut instincts, and subtle inner voices. However, many people have been conditioned to ignore these signs, dismissing them as irrational or unimportant. To reconnect with the higher self, Gawai advises readers to start paying attention to their intuition. She acknowledges that this can be difficult at first, especially for those who are used to making decisions based solely on logic or societal expectations. However, with practice, individuals can begin to trust their inner voice and follow its guidance. The role of meditation and reflection. Meditation is another tool that Gawai recommends for connecting with the higher self. In a fast-paced world, people often forget to slow down and tune into their inner world. Meditation provides a way to quiet the mind and create space for the higher self to speak. Through regular meditation, individuals can become more attuned to their inner guidance and begin to live more in alignment with their true desires. Gawai also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection. She suggests that readers take time to reflect on their lives and identify areas where they have ignored their intuition or followed external pressures. By becoming more aware of these patterns, individuals can begin to make changes that align with their higher purpose. Overcoming fear and doubt. Fear and doubt are common barriers to connecting with the higher self. Gawai explains that many people are afraid to trust their inner guidance because it often leads them in directions that go against societal norms or the expectations of others. For example, someone may feel called to pursue a creative career, but fear of financial instability or judgment from others might hold them back. The author encourages readers to face these fears and trust that their higher self knows what is best for them. She reassures readers that when they follow their inner guidance, they will ultimately find greater happiness and fulfillment, even if the path seems unconventional. Living in alignment with the higher self. The ultimate goal of this chapter is to help readers understand the importance of living in alignment with their higher self. When people follow their intuition and listen to their inner voice, they experience a sense of peace and clarity that is not available when they are living according to external expectations. Gavai argues that living in alignment with the higher self leads to a more authentic and joyful life. She also points out that the higher self is not separate from the universe or a higher power, but rather a reflection of it. By connecting with our higher self, we are also connecting with the universal energy that flows through everything. This interconnectedness gives individuals a sense of purpose and belonging in the world. Conclusion. Chapter 2 of Living in the Light highlights the importance of recognizing and connecting with the higher power within each of us. Gavai explains that this higher power, or higher self, is a source of wisdom, love, and guidance that can lead us toward a more fulfilling and authentic life. By listening to our intuition, practicing meditation and self-reflection, and overcoming fear and doubt, we can align ourselves with our higher self and live in harmony with the universe. This chapter sets the foundation for understanding how to live a life guided by inner wisdom, rather than external pressures. Chapter 3. Intuition. In Chapter 3 of Living in the Light, titled Intuition, Shakti Gavai delves into the crucial concept of intuition, describing it as the key to unlocking one's higher self and living in alignment with the universe. Gavai emphasizes that intuition is a form of inner guidance that connects us to a deeper part of ourselves and the world around us, helping us make decisions that lead to fulfillment and joy. Defining intuition. Gavai begins by explaining that intuition is an inner knowing that does not rely on logic, reason, or external evidence. Instead, it comes from a deeper place of understanding, often described as a gut feeling or an inner voice. She notes that intuition is subtle and often speaks in whispers, which is why many people overlook it or fail to trust it. According to Gavai, everyone has access to intuition, but many people are disconnected from it due to societal conditioning. From a young age, we are taught to prioritize logic and rational thinking over feelings and instincts. As a result, we lose touch with our intuition, and it becomes harder to recognize or trust it when it arises. The role of intuition in daily life. The chapter emphasizes that intuition plays a vital role in guiding us through life. Gavai explains that intuition is not just about making big life decisions, but also about navigating the small, everyday choices we make. By tuning into our intuition, we can make decisions that are more aligned with our true desires and values, leading to a greater sense of purpose and satisfaction. Gavai argues that intuition can guide us in all areas of life, whether it's deciding on a career path, choosing relationships, or handling challenges. She believes that when we follow our intuition, we are aligning with the flow of the universe, which helps us live in harmony with ourselves and the world. How to recognize intuition? One of the main challenges that people face, according to Gavai, is learning how to recognize their intuition. Intuition often manifests as a feeling, a sudden insight, or a sense of knowing that doesn't necessarily make sense logically. Gavai suggests that intuition usually feels calm and clear, while thoughts based on fear or anxiety tend to feel frantic or forced. She encourages readers to pay attention to the subtle signs of intuition by observing their feelings and inner reactions. For example, when faced with a decision, one might feel a sense of excitement or ease about one option, while another option may feel heavy or uncertain. These emotional responses are often clues that intuition is speaking. Gavai also advises readers to take time for quiet reflection or meditation, which can help them tune into their intuition. In moments of stillness, the inner voice becomes more pronounced, and it becomes easier to discern true guidance from fear or external pressures. The importance of trusting intuition. Trust is a significant theme in this chapter. Gawai acknowledges that many people struggle to trust their intuition, especially when it goes against logic or the opinions of others. However, she asserts that learning to trust one's intuition is essential for personal growth and transformation. Gawai encourages readers to experiment with following their intuition in small ways, such as making minor decisions based on gut feelings rather than overanalyzing. As individuals begin to see positive results from trusting their intuition, they will become more confident in relying on it for larger decisions as well. Overcoming fear and doubt. Fear and doubt often prevent people from trusting their intuition. Gawai explains that intuition sometimes leads us in directions that seem risky or unconventional, which can trigger fear and self-doubt. For example, someone may feel intuitively drawn to quit a stable job and pursue a passion, but the fear of financial instability or judgment from others may hold them back. Gawai advises readers to acknowledge their fears without letting them dominate their decisions. She reassures them that while intuition may sometimes lead them outside their comfort zones, it ultimately guides them toward their highest good. Living intuitively. The chapter concludes with a call to live more intuitively. Gawai explains that living intuitively means listening to one's inner guidance and making decisions that feel right on a deep, soul level. When we live intuitively, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, which leads to greater ease, joy, and fulfillment. She also stresses that living intuitively does not mean abandoning logic or planning altogether. Rather, it involves using intuition in conjunction with rational thinking to make well-rounded decisions. Gawai believes that intuition is a powerful tool for personal growth, helping individuals navigate life's challenges with greater clarity and purpose. Conclusion. In Chapter 3 of Living in the Light, Shakti Gawai emphasizes the importance of intuition as a guiding force in life. Intuition is an inner knowing that helps us make decisions aligned with our true selves. By learning to recognize and trust our intuition, we can live more authentically and harmoniously. Gawai encourages readers to practice tuning into their intuition, overcoming fear and doubt, and ultimately living a life guided by their inner wisdom. Through intuition, we can connect with the flow of the universe and experience greater joy, purpose, and fulfillment in all areas of life. Chapter 4. Becoming a Creative Channel. In Chapter 4 of Living in the Light, titled Becoming a Creative Channel, Shakti Gawai explores the idea that every person has the potential to become a channel for creative energy. She explains that creativity is not limited to artists or those in traditionally creative fields but is an inherent part of every person's existence. Gawai emphasizes that creativity flows naturally when individuals are aligned with their higher self and are open to receiving guidance from the universe. The concept of creative channeling. Gawai begins the chapter by introducing the concept of creative channeling, which she defines as allowing universal energy to flow through us to create something new. This creative energy is not confined to art or writing. It can manifest in any aspect of life, including problem solving, relationships, and personal growth. Gawai asserts that when we open ourselves to this energy, we become channels through which the universe expresses itself. She explains that this creative energy is always available to us, but many people are blocked from it due to fear, doubt, and self-criticism. These blocks often come from societal conditioning, where people are taught to conform to rigid structures and expectations. As a result, they lose touch with their natural creativity and the flow of universal energy. Opening to creative energy. To become a creative channel, Gawai suggests that individuals must first let go of the need for control. She explains that creativity cannot be forced or planned in a rigid way. It flows naturally when we surrender to the moment and allow inspiration to guide us. Gawai encourages readers to release any fears or doubts about their creative abilities and to trust that they are capable of expressing something unique and valuable. A key part of opening to creative energy, according to Gawai, is cultivating a sense of openness and receptivity. This means being willing to take risks, make mistakes, and explore new possibilities without judgment. When individuals approach life with curiosity and an open heart, they create the conditions for creativity to flow. The role of intuition in creativity. Gawai emphasizes the role of intuition in the creative process. She explains that intuition is the voice of our higher self, guiding us toward creative solutions and ideas. When we tune into our intuition, we are able to access a deeper level of inspiration that comes from beyond our rational mind. Gawai believes that everyone has the ability to tap into this intuitive guidance, and that doing so is essential for becoming a true creative channel. She suggests that readers practice listening to their intuition by quieting their minds and paying attention to the subtle insights and feelings that arise. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply taking a walk in nature, Gawai encourages readers to create space for their intuition to speak. Overcoming blocks to creativity. A significant part of becoming a creative channel involves overcoming the blocks that prevent us from accessing our full creative potential. Gawai identifies fear as one of the biggest obstacles to creativity. Many people are afraid of failure, judgment, or not being good enough, which causes them to shut down their creative impulses. To overcome these blocks, Gawai advises readers to practice self-compassion and to release the need for perfection. She reminds readers that creativity is not about achieving a specific outcome, but about expressing oneself freely and authentically. By letting go of the fear of judgment, individuals can open themselves to the flow of creative energy and allow their unique gifts to shine. Living as a creative channel. Gawai concludes the chapter by discussing what it means to live as a creative channel. She explains that when individuals align with their higher self and allow creative energy to flow through them, they experience a sense of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. This state of flow is not limited to specific creative projects but can be integrated into all areas of life. Living as a creative channel also means being open to change and growth. Gawai encourages readers to embrace the unknown and to trust that the universe is always guiding them toward new opportunities for creative expression. By staying connected to their intuition and remaining open to the flow of energy, individuals can live more fully and authentically. Conclusion. In Chapter 4 of Living in the Light, Shakti Gawai teaches readers how to become a channel for creative energy by aligning with their higher self and tapping into the flow of universal energy. She explains that creativity is not limited to specific fields or talents, but is available to everyone who is open to it. By overcoming fear, doubt, and self-criticism, and by trusting in intuition, individuals can become creative channels through which the universe expresses itself. Gawai's message is that living as a creative channel brings joy, purpose, and a deeper connection to the world around us. Chapter 5, Exploring Our Many Selves. In Chapter 5 of Living in the Light, titled Exploring Our Many Selves, Shakti Gawai delves into the idea that each person is made up of many different aspects or selves. She explains that we all have various facets of our personality, each with its own unique desires, needs, and expressions. This chapter encourages readers to explore and embrace these different selves rather than suppress or ignore them. The concept of multiple selves. Gavai introduces the concept that we are not just one singular, unified being, but rather a collection of different parts or selves. These selves represent different roles and identities that we play throughout our lives. For example, we may have a child self, a parent self, a professional self, and a spiritual self, among others. Each of these selves has its own unique perspective, needs, and desires, and they may sometimes come into conflict with one another. The author explains that these different selves are natural and necessary. They allow us to adapt to different situations and play various roles in life. However, problems arise when we suppress certain aspects of ourselves because they don't fit with our self-image or the expectations of others. This suppression can lead to inner conflict, frustration, and a sense of disconnection from our true selves. Embracing all parts of ourselves. Gavai encourages readers to embrace all parts of themselves, including the ones they may not like or understand. She argues that every self has value and contributes to our overall well-being. By acknowledging and integrating these different selves, we can achieve a greater sense of wholeness and balance. The author also points out that some of our selves may be underdeveloped or neglected because of societal conditioning or personal experiences. For instance, someone who was taught to be very responsible from a young age may have suppressed their playful, childlike self. Gavai suggests that by exploring these neglected parts of ourselves, we can bring more joy and spontaneity into our lives. Recognizing the shadow self. A significant part of this chapter focuses on what Gavai refers to as the shadow self. The shadow self represents the parts of ourselves that we have repressed or denied because they are considered undesirable or unacceptable. These might include emotions like anger, jealousy, or fear, or aspects of our personality that we have been taught to suppress. Gavai explains that the shadow self is not inherently bad or negative. In fact, it can hold valuable insights and energy that we can use for personal growth. She encourages readers to face their shadow selves with compassion and curiosity, rather than fear or judgment. By acknowledging and integrating these parts of ourselves, we can transform them into sources of strength and wisdom. The importance of balance. A key message in this chapter is the importance of balance. Gavai explains that different selves may sometimes be in conflict with one another. For example, our professional self may want to work late to meet a deadline, while our family self wants to spend time with loved ones. These conflicts can create stress and tension if we don't find a way to balance these competing desires. Gavai suggests that we can achieve balance by listening to all parts of ourselves and finding ways to meet the needs of each self. This may involve setting boundaries, prioritizing different aspects of life, or making compromises. By honoring all parts of ourselves, we can create a more harmonious and fulfilling life. Living in alignment with our many selves. Gavai concludes the chapter by emphasizing the importance of living in alignment with all of ourselves. She explains that when we accept and integrate all aspects of our personality, we become more authentic and true to ourselves. This authenticity allows us to live with greater ease and flow, as we no longer have to suppress or hide parts of who we are. Living in alignment with our many selves also helps us connect more deeply with others. When we accept all parts of ourselves, we become more accepting and compassionate toward others. This creates deeper, more meaningful relationships and a greater sense of connection to the world around us. Conclusion. In Chapter 5 of Living in the Light, Shakti Gavai explores the idea that we are made up of many different selves, each with its own unique desires and needs. She encourages readers to embrace and integrate all parts of themselves, including the shadow self, in order to achieve a greater sense of wholeness and balance. By living in alignment with our many selves, we can lead a more authentic, harmonious, and fulfilling life. This chapter teaches readers that by accepting and honoring all parts of who we are, we can experience deeper self-awareness, personal growth, and connection with others.